Welcome back to the Dog Mentality, winning in business, sports, and life. I'm your host, Jeffrey Wendel. We are deep into part 3 of our series where we use sports, and especially baseball, as our laboratory for peak performance. In episode 9, we learned how underdogs win. In episode 10, we learned why it's never about you. Today, we go somewhere most people never think to train, the 6 inches between your ears. Yogi Berra put it perfectly. Baseball is 90% mental. The other half is physical. Now, the math on that one's a little suspect, but the wisdom is dead on. Here's the reality at the elite level. Everybody is talented. Everybody lifts. Everybody practices. Everybody has the swing coach, the nutrition plan, the film study. When the physical gap between competitors shrinks to almost nothing, the game is decided somewhere else. It's decided in the mind. And here's the big idea of today's episode. The mental game is not a personality trait. You are not born clutch, and you are not born a choker. The mental game is a set of skills, and skills can be trained. Nobody proved that better than a man named Dr. Ken Ravizza. For 38 years, Ken was a professor of applied sports psychology at Cal State Fullerton, and he became one of the founding fathers of mental performance coaching in baseball. He consulted for big league organizations. He worked side by side with manager Joe Madden for 3 decades, and he co-wrote the Bible of the baseball mental game, Heads Up Baseball, playing the game one pitch at a time. Ravizza's core message was beautifully simple. You cannot control the last pitch. You cannot control the umpire, the market, or the outcome. You can only control your response and the very next pitch. So today, I'm handing you 4 tools from the world of elite mental performance coaching: the videotape, the routine and the reset, the voice, and the breath. Every one of them is backed by hard research, and every one of them works just as well in a boardroom or a classroom as it does in a batter's box. August 13th, 2008, Beijing. The Olympic final of the 200-meter butterfly. Michael Phelps dives into the water chasing history, and almost immediately, something goes wrong. His goggles start to leak. Within the first 25 meters, they are filling with water. By the final lap, he is completely blind. He cannot see the lane lines. He cannot see the wall. He cannot see his competitors. Phelps later said he swam roughly 175 of those 200 meters unable to see. And he didn't panic, not for one stroke. Why not? Because his coach, Bob Bowman, had spent years making Phelps rehearse this exact nightmare. Bowman called it watching the videotape. Every night and every morning, Phelps would mentally swim the perfect race, every stroke, every turn, every touch. But he didn't just rehearse perfection, he rehearsed disaster. What happens if the suit rips? What happens if the goggles flood? Bowman even made him train in the dark so he would know his race by feel alone. So when the real goggles failed in the real Olympic final, Phelps simply switched to the version of the race he had already swum hundreds of times in his mind. He counted his strokes. He knew exactly how many strokes he needed for each length of the pool. He hit the final wall, blind, and when he ripped his goggles off, the scoreboard read 152.03, a new world record, gold medal. He didn't just visualize success, he had already experienced the crisis before it ever happened. Now, if you think visualization is just motivational fluff, let me hit you with one of my favorite studies ever published. Researchers at the Cleveland Clinic Foundation, led by Vinoth Ranganathan, asked a group of volunteers to train one specific muscle for 12 weeks entirely in their minds. 15 minutes a day of vivid, maximal effort imagined contractions. They never moved a muscle. The results were published in the journal Neuropsychologia. The mental training group increased their actual, physical, measurable strength by 35%. The control group, who did nothing, no meaningful change. And get this, when researchers checked back 4 weeks after the training stopped, the gains had climbed to 40%. 35% stronger from workouts that happened entirely inside their heads. Let that number land. Your brain does not fully distinguish between a vividly imagined rep and a real one. It fires many of the same neural pathways either way. That is why every elite performance coach on the planet teaches visualization. Here's how to do it right. First person, through your own eyes, not like a drone shot. All 5 senses, the sounds, the smells, the feel. Real speed, don't fast forward. And here's the part most people skip. Rehearse adversity. See the objection in the sales call. See the tough question in the interview. See the goggles filling with water. And see yourself responding with total calm. Baseball is a game of failure. The best hitters on earth fail 7 times out of 10. Nobody survives that mentally without a system. And that is exactly why baseball developed the most sophisticated failure management technology in all of sports, the routine. Watch any big leaguer between pitches, the batting glove adjustment, the breath, the look to the barrel of the bat. That is not superstition. That is a pre-performance routine, and the science behind it is rock solid. In 2021, researchers published a meta-analysis in the International Review of Sport and Exercise Psychology covering 112 effect sizes on pre-performance routines. The verdict? Routines significantly improve performance for beginners and elite athletes alike. And here is the kicker. The effect was moderate to large precisely when it matters most, under pressure. Understand the difference. A superstition says the lucky socks control the outcome. A routine says I control my attention. A routine is a repeatable sequence, breath, cue word, focal point, that tells your brain it's time. Same first serve bounce. Same pre-meeting review. Same 3-line warm-up before every presentation. The routine doesn't just calm you down. It puts your attention exactly where it belongs, on the process, not the outcome. But Ken Revisa's real genius was what he taught players to do after failure. He called it a release routine. You just gave up a home run. You just lost the account. You cannot take the next pitch while you're still living in the last one. So you create a physical trigger to close the file. Some players pick up a handful of dirt and toss it. Some take one hard breath and touch the chest logo on their jersey. The action doesn't matter. The meaning does. Acknowledge it, flush it, and turn your eyes to the next pitch. Now let me show you the greatest mental reset in the history of baseball. Game 7 of the 2016 World Series. The Chicago Cubs, managed by Joe Madden, Revisa's collaborator of 30 years, are trying to end a 108-year championship drought. They lead most of the night. Then, in the bottom of the 8th, Rajai Davis launches a game-tying 2-run homer off flame-throwing closer Aroldis Chapman. The lead is gone. The 9th inning ends. Tie game. An entire fan base is watching a century of heartbreak walk back through the door. And then the sky opens. Rain. The grounds crew rolls out the tarp for a delay that lasts exactly 17 minutes. In those 17 minutes, outfielder Jason Hayward, a man hitting just .106 that postseason, a man with every reason to keep quiet, pulls his teammates into a cramped weight room behind the dugout. And he tells them, "We're the best team in baseball, and we're the best team in baseball for a reason. Play like the score is nothing. Stay positive. Fight for your brothers." The rain stops. The Cubs walk back out, score 2 runs in the top of the 10th, and win 8-7. The drought is over. That, right there, is a release routine at championship scale. The collapse was real. The pain was real. And they flushed it, reframed it, and played the next pitch. Notice something else, by the way. It connects straight back to episode 10. The man who led the reset wasn't the star of that night's box score. It's never about you. Tool number 3, the voice inside your head. You are talking to yourself all day long, whether you know it or not. The only question is whether that voice is coached or undisciplined. The research here is overwhelming. A meta-analysis published in Perspectives on Psychological Science pulled together 32 studies on self-talk in sports, 62 separate effects, and found a clear, positive impact on performance with an effect size of 0.48. That's not a rounding error. That's a real competitive edge from words. The researchers found 2 flavors that work: instructional self-talk, short technical cues like stay closed, see it deep, slow the slide deck down, works best for precision tasks. Motivational self-talk, you've done the work, attack this, fuels effort and power. The key in both cases? Script it in advance. Champions don't improvise their inner voice under pressure. They rehearse it. And here's the upgrade that modern psychology has handed us. Researchers led by Ethan Kross at the University of Michigan discovered that how you address yourself changes everything. It's called distanced self-talk. Instead of saying, "I'm nervous, I need to calm down," you use your own name or the word you. Jeff, slow your tempo. You've prepared for this. Brain imaging and brainwave studies show that this tiny shift dials down emotional reactivity within about a second, and it does it without burning extra mental effort. Talking to yourself by name flips you from panicked participant to calm coach. You would never scream, "We're doomed," at a teammate. Stop saying it to yourself. Tool number 4, the breath. Your breath is the only part of your stress response you can grab with both hands, anytime, anywhere. In 2023, researchers at Stanford ran a head-to-head randomized trial published in Cell Reports Medicine. 111 adults, 5 minutes a day for a month. 4 techniques battling it out: mindfulness meditation, box breathing, cyclic hyperventilation, and something called cyclic sighing. The winner, by a clear margin, was cyclic sighing. It produced the biggest daily boost in positive mood and the biggest drop in resting breathing rate, a marker of a calmer nervous system. Here's the technique, and you can do it with me right now. Take a deep breath in through your nose. When you think you're full, sneak in one more short sip of air on top. Then let it all out through your mouth, long and slow, like you're fogging a mirror. That double inhale, long exhale pattern is called a physiological sigh. It is the fastest legal way to downshift your nervous system. 1 breath between pitches, 1 breath before you walk into the meeting, 1 breath before the hard conversation. The videotape, the routine and the reset, the voice, the breath. That is the starter kit of every elite mental performance program on earth. And now it's yours. Here is your dog mentality challenge for this week. I want you to build what I call your mental locker. 3 shelves. Shelf number 1, the videotape. Pick the highest stakes moment on your calendar in the next 2 weeks. 5 minutes a day, run the movie. First person, full senses, real speed. And every single time, rehearse one thing going wrong and you handling it like Phelps. Shelf number 2, the routine and the reset. Design a 2-minute pre-performance routine. Breath, cue word, focal point, and use it before every rep this week. Then choose your release trigger, the toss dirt, the long exhale, whatever closes the file on a mistake so you can play the next pitch. Shelf number 3, the voice and the breath. Write down 3 instructional cues for your craft and start addressing yourself by name when the pressure spikes. And when your heart rate jumps, Double inhale through the nose. Long exhale through the mouth. Repeat. The mental game is not soft. It is a skill. And skills respond to discipline. You train the videotape daily. You choose your attitude with a coached inner voice. You show your will by resetting after every failure. And you stay grounded in gratitude. Because the next pitch is not a threat. It's a gift. Next time on The Dog Mentality, we close out part 3 by taking everything we've learned out of the dugout and into the living room. The most important team you will ever coach is the one sitting at your dinner table. And we're going to talk about coaching your kids with the dog mentality. Until then, remember, discipline, attitude, will, gratitude. Train the mind like you train the body and win the next pitch. I'm Jeffrey Wendel. I'll see you next time.